When we first bought the LUV TUB and we were opening it up in 2019, we had our first major surprise. The wooden deck was rotting.
And so began the 2-year project of replacing the deck. This video will take you along for all of our deck drama, our biggest boat project ever.
This is my wife, Laura.
This is my wife, Jackie.
And this is our life.
Finding out the deck of your new houseboat is completely rotted was a heartbreaker, and it wasn't an easy fix at all. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button. We are really trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and if you can hit the subscribe button, that would be really awesome. Thank you.
Okay, so we definitely did not do this deck by ourselves. We had tons of help from friends at the marina, our family. We got lots of advice from hardware shops and boat supply stores, and especially YouTube. But major shout out to my dad, Bob, and my brother, Blake, for spending many hours with us on the LUV TUB working on this deck.
In the spring of 2019, when we came to open up the boat, we realized that some of the railing pieces had fallen over. So we started taking them off, and then layers of the deck, and realized everything was totally wet.
We've got half of the deck ripped up, and the other half we have done with the belt sander and crazy sanded down. It looks actually really good. So there's that part there, looks really good. And then the other side behind me is getting that part is all ripped up.
All right, we are taking apart the bulkhead of the deck. Yeah.
We didn't know. That's what we were just discussing. Is this laminate?
The plywood underneath was still okay structurally, but needed to be dried out. And so we would tarp it every time it rained and then let it dry out in the sun. Okay, I'm back on the boat, and I came today so that I could tarp all of the decks again because it's gonna rain tomorrow and possibly Saturday. They've been drying out really well, so I don't want to get them wet. In the end, we ended up pulling up the trim, the plywood, and reframing the deck.
Okay, Laura just explained what was going on in 2019, and I'm gonna just tell you that that did not work. This year had to really rethink it and redo the complete deck, but let's go back to 2019 and check out what we did then and have a laugh at how optimistic and proud we were when we were finishing the deck on LUV TUB.
So we laid down the 1/2-inch plywood, 1/4-inch plywood. We laid down the plywood again, and then we put a new layer of finishing ply on top of that. Everything was completely dry. This morning, we came and we decided the day would be the day we finally epoxy the decks, because we had help yesterday putting the decks on, the top plywood of the deck, all the space around the cabin. I don't know. These are things that I think I know. I'm learning as I go. After the epoxy, we put on what's called topside paint. So that topside paint is like a 3-step process where we had to edge, roll in 2 directions, and then sweep stroke it. But that means that it was like to get it a nice thin layer, and it was self-leveling, which I think that it's really done a good job at leveling. It's not streaky at all. And we are hoping that it will stay waterproof.
This was really hard to do. The new wood looks great.
With the deck, epoxy, and painting all done, we enlisted the help of our friend Brian from the marina to help us with the 2019 finish of the boat.
Brian helped us put new bullnose on the edge of the deck and helped put all the railings up.
These railings are aluminum pipe and fittings. It's a little bit unconventional, but we were looking for something sturdy and cost-effective and found these at a local supplier. If you haven't given this video a like yet, it does help people to find us and helps keep us dedicated to this project.
And then we are so happy to finally have a deck. and very proud. Since that project took all of the summer of 2019, we could not have predicted, obviously, of what was going to happen when we came back in the spring.
So 2020, we get here to the LUV TUB, and we pretty much cried when we saw the deck.
Well, our deck is totally ruined. So I'm gonna start cutting stuff off, and there's mushrooms that are actually growing underneath the deck. It's pretty gross.
Even though we were so discouraged, we really wanted to fix the deck.
We don't know what we're doing, obviously, so whatever we did not work. Going through this whole big process and doing something different. So right now we are measuring all the parts of the outside deck so my dad can pre-cut sheets of fiberglass to bring to the island. Ripping up the deck again. We were putting this on last summer. We were so excited. We were painting it. It looked so nice. Who could have ever predicted the future?
Anyway, it was sad. It was a sad moment.
With our new plan, Jackie and Bob started the installation of deck 2.0. They started work on the starboard side, right by the door. Here, we opted for a piece of rubber to prevent slipping on a wet deck.
But for the rest of the deck, my dad pre-cut all the FRP sheets, which is fiberglass reinforced plastic, so minimal trimming was needed to do on site.
Sure. Pencil?
I can do that
Mark it to
easily
there.
with these 10-pound tin snips.
Okay.
I can't do it.
You can do
I
it.
literally, my hand is not big enough to open them. Try to open that.
Oh, yeah, my hand's not big enough.
No.
Like the
No,
holes are too
literally, my hand will not extend big enough for that to open. This is like a joke. This is like a ribbon,
Okay,
like a
can I do
ribbon
that?
scissors.
This time we used siding fasteners. They have a rubber washer to keep everything sealed and tight. We did end up removing the railing so the FRP would be laid underneath to create a better seal. Also, we replaced all the caulking around the newly laid deck.
And then we're gonna finish putting the last pieces of the railing down, and we're gonna do some caulking, and then this side will be done.
I like dinner.
Let's go back and remember what it looked like along the way. So it's been a journey.
To say the least.
2 years working on a deck is a long time for us.
And now, the finished deck in 3, 2, 1. The deck feels great. It's sturdy, it's easy to clean, it's watertight, and most of all, it's finished.
Again, we could not have done this alone. So thank you so much to our family and friends and all the people who gave us advice along the way. We really learned so much in this project, and we are so happy with the final result.
If you made it all the way to the end of this video, thank you very much. And if you've already subscribed, leave us a comment down below. Tell us what you think of the deck.
If you see a little bit longer, there's gonna be some outtakes at the end. This has been another Wife Life video from the LUV TUB. There'll be another one coming next week. Take care, bye.
Man, legend, Mr.
But not.
Hardware. Okay, we can do something that makes me look more like a hero.
Okay, go south.
Go south.
West. I guess that's west.
Right. Oh my gosh, you are right here. It's that construction day. I'm having a good hair day.
Okay, Jackie. Show the pipes. Ooh, here, hang on. I'm gonna put a weight on the end.
Oh, thanks.
Okay,
Roll
there.
tape. Look at that. Yeah.
Hold the tape. Roll tape.
That's funny, Dad.